Hey guys, this is Mike from Toy Rage, and today we're going to be talking about The Refuge, a race for survival. The Refuge is a board game by B&B Game Studios. Describes itself as a survival strategy board game, and I agree with that, although the term survival may make it seem like it's a long game. It isn't. Race is the much more appropriate term. The game itself is for 2 to 6 players and lasts around 20 minutes per game. I was playing with 2 other people, and the game eventually got to about 15 minutes each once we got a good understanding of the game, as well as what we were looking to accomplish. The Refuge was introduced on Kickstarter in September of 2016. It was successfully funded in the first 24 hours. The goal may seem a little low at $8,500, but it's quite the accomplishment if you follow other games attempted to even be funded on Kickstarter. It was successfully funded in October at $31,830. After watching the videos on the Kickstarter page, I can see why this funded so quickly. Zombies have a great appeal to gamers today. The game itself has very few components. It has a board, deck of cards, and easily sorted minis. The rules and goal are simple to follow, allowing for a quick and easy understanding of the game. As we all know, just because a game has easy to understand rules and objectives doesn't mean it is going to be easy to win. This is where the strategy comes in, and I will talk about that later. The game, when being opened up, is nicely organized. There are male and female zombies, each with their own large Ziploc bag. The cards are all together in one package, and the players were sorted out as well. The minis are all different colors while the zombies are gray, making it easy to sort them out. There is only one type of zombie in the game, so the mini you choose doesn't affect how the game is played. The minis have nice details, but they were easily bending, causing some issues for them to stay standing up, but this is easily rectified by gently bending the minis back into place. Setting up the game was easy. You dump zombies in a pile, you give each person a character, then shuffle and deal the cards. One of the quickest games to set up, which is a huge relief. Other games that I'm used to playing can take up to 30 minutes or even longer to set up. This game took less than 10 minutes the first time playing and less than 5 minutes each time after. This made consecutive gameplays for reviewing this game so much easier and won a lot of points with us. The game is easy to play. On your turn you get to do 1 to 3 things. Draw a card, play a card, or move your character forward, backward, left, or right. There's no diagonal movements, simplifying the gameplay even more. There are 5 different types of spaces you can land on. The spawn tile allows you to spawn a zombie on another spawn space as long as it's unoccupied. The hazard space allows you to move a zombie on the board the same way you would move a player, except they cannot go into a space with another zombie or a safe space. A safe space, nothing happens when you move onto a safe space, but zombies cannot move in to attack you. Gotta be careful though, because when you are moving into a safe space, another player can switch with you when they go into a switch space. Switch spaces, when the player moves onto that, allows you to switch tiles with another player in a safe space. The lock space is the space right before winning the game. In order to move off the space and win the game, you have to have a key card. You do not need a key card to move onto the space, only to leave and win the game. This allows for strategy and trying to fake out your opponents to make them think you do have a key card, causing them to panic and try to get you before you can actually move off the board. The cards in this game give you the ability to kill zombies when you enter the space or they enter your space, jump over tiles, move diagonally, steal cards from other players, and interrupt their turn to win the game. The only card we played wrong at first was the stopwatch card, where you can use it only in your opponent's turn. You stop their turn and take 1 turn on your own. This card has to be played at the beginning of the turn before they do anything. The reason we were playing this card wrong is because it doesn't say on the card that it has to be played at the beginning of the turn, and in the rulebook there is a small note in the description, but it's after the description instead of before. A small change where that would be placed before instead of after the description of the card would have made it easier for us to realize how to properly play the card, but the rulebook is so small and there's another reference sheet with the cards on it that it was easily fixed within 2 uses of the card. So how was the game itself? It was fun, and it only got better the more we played. We got several full games in within an hour, which was great and allowed us to keep up the adrenaline and the fun of the game going. We played with 3 people, but I would love to eventually get a full 6-person group going for this. Trying to outthink the other players, figuring out what they were going to do in the fast pace of the game really makes it a great group game, especially since it's up to 6 players. Final thoughts about this is that the game is definitely worth the $40 investment, and it is quite the perfect price for it. The issue with the minis was easily fixable, and the small issues with the wording on the stopwatch was figured out quickly due to the small and simple rulebook. It won't take you hours of reading or watching videos to get the hang of this game, nor will you need to hold a small council meeting to discuss the rules, questions, and what-if scenarios. The Refuge is a great game to add to your current game library, especially if you know a couple people who are trying to get into the board game scene that you want to introduce to board games, but a couple of the other ones in your collection might be a little bit too intense for them. This would cause a great, easy way to introduce them to games, from just board management, minis, as well as dealing with the hand and cards. The rules are very simple, so you'll have a very easy time explaining it to them, and they'll get a good grasp on everything, and then you can go and introduce them to more games further on. The people who made this game, B&B Game Studios, they do have a couple other games out, and after playing this game, I will be looking into a couple more of theirs. Like the video, share the video, comment down below. What are your thoughts on everything? I would love to hear from you, and until next time, this is Michael from Toy Rage. Have a good day, guys.